Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Mitchell and I'm here with Steven and Tommy. And it's been a while since we've done a Q&A for you guys, so we thought today we would do exactly that. We asked a couple questions on our Instagram, up at TMSProductions_. We asked you guys if you want to know anything when it comes to videos or it comes to life or basically anything when it comes to TMS Productions. This is a classic YouTuber Q&A. We're gonna jump right into it here. I've got the questions on my phone. And for the first question, which film school does Tommy go to, or did he go to? I think this also has a big overarching question to it as well. Did you guys go to film school? How is film school? And all the film school related questions. So Tommy, I'm gonna hand it off to you so you can answer all these questions in one big.
So I did go to film school, for those of you guys that didn't know, for the last year. I went to a school in Vancouver called Capilano University, which specializes a lot in like cinema on-set filmmaking. So the program was really cool. However, I'm not returning for years 2 through 4. A big reason is the cost. It's like 5 times more expensive than a normal university program here in Canada, as well as that it's a very specific lane of filmmaking that I'm not too interested in, and neither are Steven or Mitchell, which is like a big Hollywood movie sets. You got like hundreds of people on a crew. There's a lot of protocol you have to follow that I personally am not a fan of. And as well, it was a lot of it took the fun out of filmmaking for me because it was a lot of in-class work, a lot of essays. That's not to say you shouldn't go to film school. If you are interested in working on a big film set or being a director or a cinematographer one day, absolutely do it if you think it's the right choice for you. It was a great experience for me, but personally, I'm not going to be returning as I am much more interested in the YouTube and freelancing side of filmmaking.
When going to film school and having to do the big set movie productions and those kind of things with 100-man crews, you have to usually specialize into a certain thing that you want to do, like if it's cinematography or directing or whatever. And the thing about YouTube and freelance is that you kind of get to do it all. So you get to kind of keep it fresh by, say, being an editor one day, but then you're also a filmer the next. You don't have to necessarily specialize and devote your entire life to doing that single thing. Is it hard working with 3 people? That's a good one.
There's times when it's hard. There's times when it's also fantastic. The biggest thing for us is the great thing about us is that we tend to always find a way to compromise. So there's not a lot of times that we're just kind of stuck in gridlock with an argument and just don't know what to do. Also, if you do have 3 people, there's a great tiebreaker. If 2 people are, if 2 people are stuck on each a different idea, then you can have one person be a tiebreaker, which is nice.
That kind of goes into like working with your brother as well. I think we've said this in another Q&A, but the thing about working with someone who is not family is that there are boundaries there, and you can't really kind of like, you can't cuss them out and you can't rip them to shreds. But when there is someone who is family, you kind of can do that. So there are times when me and Steven get into some pretty heated arguments and Tommy's kind of sitting there on the sidelines, but so that can be kind of annoying. So people always say don't necessarily work with family. So far, so good, but we'll see. It's so far, it's great and we love it, and it's nice having 3 people who are all passionate about what they do, but it can get tricky at some point in time, or at some times.
The good thing about you guys is that even though if you do have like a big argument, you don't really hold on to it. It's just like at the end of the day, you just keep going and it's not a big deal. When I know some people would be holding a grudge for like 3 days, but that never happens.
Like for when me and Steven have an argument, it honestly happens so often that after the argument is settled, within 3 minutes, we're back to normal and we're just kind of laughing about whatever. So it never lasts too long. It's just in the moment, we're trying to get our point across, and sometimes people disagree, so.
Gets a bit passionate.
Yeah, it gets a bit passionate, that's right.
Yeah.
What was the most challenging video you have ever made?
I would say the POV.
The POV one, the most, if you haven't seen it, our most recent like short film style video that we did is called Headed West. It's a first-person travel film. That video was a big project where we went down to the Pacific Northwest, went down to Oregon and Washington State and traveled around and recorded with this POV rig.
With the POV video, it was a lot of work, but it was definitely worth it. That's definitely the video that I'm most proud of at the moment, because it's kind of the video that we had so much time to minutely change every detail, make sure every single thing was perfect, and it came out just amazing.
What is the situation of COVID-19 in BC? Obviously, none of us are health professionals, so we cannot say anything we can't get into extreme details here. I'm just going to say what I know, which is that BC apparently is doing quite well in terms of coronavirus. Everyone's kind of trying to keep their distance and do their thing, do their part to keep it at bay. So from what I know, there's not too many cases and we're doing okay. So.
Yeah. Well, and just recently they've allowed you to open your social circle up to like, I think 6 people now. So you can now kind of start seeing other people and like restaurants are starting to open now. So it's getting a little bit more back to normal.
Next question. This one's probably for Steven. Do you have any tips for getting into FPV?
Step number 1 is start with a simulator. I know everyone asks what simulator you use. The one I've used is called Liftoff. It's on Steam. Just kind of search it up. You'll be able to find it. But it's only like $10, $15. And then from that, you can kind of connect an Xbox controller or any other controller you have and just start learning how to fly just without destroying a drone every minute or so. And then from there, I looked up on Google. Some people have build lists of just kind of very cheap drones or just drones that are pre-built so you know all the parts work together. And then from there, I bought all the parts and put it together, and the rest is history.
Oh, here's another one for Steven. Does Steven have a girlfriend yet?
No.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, he's still on the market, ladies. Hit him up.
Everybody, we're making a petition to get Steven a girlfriend. We need at least 500,000 signatures.
There's going to be a Google Forms down below. You guys can go sign
Google
up.
Forms, yeah.
Name, photo, your Tinder profile if you have one.
What your favorite camera brand is. Make sure you get
because
that.
that's a big determining factor there.
Yeah,
if you are Sony, I don't know. You might have to...
Nikon or Sony are a no-go. That's a red flag.
Yeah. Who comes up with most of the good ideas? I don't know if it's necessarily a single person comes up with any of the good ideas. Usually our ideas stem... Yeah, it's collective. Usually our ideas stem from like just life experiences or things that have happened in our lifetime. And just people come up with ideas, and we have a big long list of ideas that if you think of an idea, just go write it down, and then we'll look at it later if we're looking for an idea. So no one, it's not one person specifically. It's a lot. It's pretty even actually in terms of who comes up with the ideas.
Yeah. After going to film school and like trying to make video ideas with random kids that I didn't know, like the 3 of us, me, Steven, and Mitch, somehow are just like an idea powerhouse. Like someone will have like a fragment of an idea, and then we'll just run it by the other guys, and like literally in 5 minutes we'll have like a fully fledged idea that's something out of the box and creative. When with other people I'll try and bounce ideas off of, and it's just nothing sticking really. So I don't know. We seem to be really good at just whipping up an idea out of nothing.
A little bit of a loaded question. Are you guys going to be upgrading to the X-T4? So for those of you who don't know, we shoot on Fuji mainly for our DSLR of choice. I don't think we're gonna upgrade to the X-T4 just because we've been really looking at the Canon EOS R, not the EOS R5 that is about to come out, but just the older one that's already out. We're looking to get back into the Canon ecosystem, and we're also looking for a full frame camera now, just because you get that better quality and just better depth of field and everything. So I don't think we're gonna move to the X-T4, but Canon EOS R is definitely on the horizon for us, I think.
Yeah, the full frame look is just something that I've wanted for so long. So finally we kind of said, let's finally look into it and potentially pull the trigger and get an EOS R or something that's full frame.
Next question here we're gonna ask is, this one's probably for Tommy, how do you tell Steven and Mitchell apart?
Oh, that is a good question. So back in 2014, when I first met them, I couldn't tell them apart at all because, they are identical twins. The method I would use is I'd look at their shoes, which doesn't help anyone on YouTube, I realize that, but that's what I did. I'd look at their shoes, and I think Steven had gray shoes and Mitchell had black shoes. And every time I met them, I'd be like, oh, hey guys, how's it going, Steven? Worked every time. Now you just get to know them enough that I can tell them apart. I don't know, what would you guys say is the difference?
I guess, for all the newbies out there who obviously can't see us in person and stuff like that, if you look really close in the videos, Steven has a mole on his chin. And then also, like for people who have obviously known us for a little while, they get to know some of our like personalities are a little bit different, and just mannerisms and things like that are a little bit different. Tommy, I know, can tell us apart from our voice now. Like on the phone, he can tell who it is. What is your guys' favorite podcasts?
Oh, great question. I think we all love David Dobrik's podcast, Views.
Yeah, David Dobrik Views by David Dobrik is that's an absolute classic. It's so funny. We're all pretty big David Dobrik fans, so that's a good one.
Peter McKinnon's is really good, but he never posts
Never
that much,
uploads.
unfortunately.
Oh, I used to really like his podcast, and then I've watched them all, and now there's nothing else. But if you're a Canadian, one that's really good, I don't know if you could find it anywhere else online, but CBC Radio it's called Under the Influence. It's all about the hidden side of marketing and other kind of interesting marketing things.
How many members are in your team? There's 3 of us. TMS Productions, Tommy, Mitchell, and Steven. So that's kind of where the name came from, and that's how many members there are. There's still 3. No one's dropped off just yet, but I think Steven might be our weakest link here.
Wow.
You might have to fire Steven. Let him
I
go.
have to fire Steven. I'm just kidding, but I mean, there's not too much to answer there. It's just 3 of us. Okay, another question here, which we get asked quite a bit, is which program do you use to edit your videos? This is interesting actually because a couple weeks ago we actually switched from using mainly Premiere Pro to using DaVinci Resolve just because we wanted to try it out and see what it was like. So far, so good. We do plan on making a video about the switch and kind of what we think about each program and which one is our favorite and if we might be going back. Who knows? You're gonna have to watch the video to find out. But they are definitely both very powerful editing programs. I know that DaVinci Resolve is free, so if you're trying to get into filmmaking, that's a great place to start. But they definitely do have their differences as well. So we're not gonna get too much into it here, but they're definitely different. That's all I'll say. Okay, next question here. Why don't you upload more?
Oh,
Excellent question.
That's a good question. Well, we actually might be uploading more very soon. We have some big plans. You might be seeing more than 1 video a week from us. So we're not going to say too much now again. But yeah, we do have some big plans on increasing our amount of uploads and kind of varying the type of content that we're going to post.
Also, right now, especially with our bigger videos once a week, they do take quite a bit of time and effort to plan and shoot and edit. So right now, doing more weekly of the same kind of video is not necessarily practical because we would all have to be working like 16-hour days every single day just to get at least 2 videos up a week. So for right now, 1 video a week is pretty standard for us, but keep your eyes peeled for some more content for sure. Last question here. This one is going to be a heater. What are your plans for when you hit 100K? Okay, so this is kind of a funny story. Back in 2018, we were in Belize and we had about 3,000 subscribers at the time. And we made a pact when we were in Belize saying that if we ever, God forbid, we ever reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, we were gonna get TMS tattoos. Now, little did we know, like just about 2 years later, we are now rounding the corner to 100K. We never thought we'd be here. And we're now looking at maybe getting some tattoos for 100K. Yeah, I think that's the plan. We're gonna get TMS tattoos. Everyone can kind of choose what it looks like. It's all personal to them, but and where it is.
Steven told me he wants a full chest piece, so I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like.
And then
on him.
Tommy was saying he wants one like right across the forehead that just says TMS.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's funny because it's funny though because it's like 100K. There's a lot of people that are probably like, man, 100K, like that's nothing. Like, why would you get a tattoo for that? But it kind of goes back to like, honestly, we never thought we'd ever get close to 100K. So we just kind of threw that out there, even though it doesn't sound like a lot now. Back then we were like, this would be insane. Mm-hmm. And now we're actually approaching it, which is kind of crazy.
And we're gonna hold true. We're not gonna back down just because we.
But now, like, with tattoos at 100K, what are we gonna do for 1 million?
Who knows? Okay, so that is all the questions we have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A style video. It's been a while since we've done one, so we thought we'd just kind of update you guys and kind of give you a little rundown on what's happening in our personal lives. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram over at TMSProductions_ so that next time we do a Q&A, you guys will know, and also you can ask some questions. So go up there, follow that. If you guys enjoyed any of the music in this video, it was all provided by Epidemic Sound, so there's gonna be a link in the description to get yourself a 30-day free trial of that. And I think that's everything. So everyone wave, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, that was good.
Wow, we're cool.
Someone's asking us, how would you recommend becoming an Epidemic Sound ambassador?
You have to go to your bathroom, shut off the lights, and say Epidemic Sound 3 times in the mirror.